excited because the Step Out TV shows are back live on T2I TV. And for those who don't know, Step Out is a series of interviews and motivational segments designed to bring the best out of you and your business. Therefore, we have the following TV programs. Our first TV program, which is our flagship program, dubbed Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, is designed to interview consultants, experts, talented people, and those doing exceptionally well in their communities. The second one is Step Out SME Focus. This is where we interview business owners and showcase their products and services. The third one is Step Out Youth Impact Zone. This is where we interview young people succeeding against all odds to serve as an inspiration to other young people. And the last one is Step Out Authors Corner. And this is where we interview authors to share what their book is about to the world. Join us every week. Like T2I TV on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. To advertise or for further information, do WhatsApp +44 759 1152 983 or +233 55 580 3924 or email info@traintoinspire.com. T2I TV. We engage, educate, enlighten, and empower.
Welcome to another exciting edition of the Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, and tonight is another Thursday where we bring to you discussions that are designed to inspire you, designed to change your mentality, designed to make you have a purposeful life, designed to inspire you and cause you to believe again, because there are so many stories that we share that really help us to really grow in pursuit of life and our vision. And that is what the Step Out with Oscar Bimpong is all about, is to bring out stories from the African continent and also from the diaspora to really change the narrative both in our Afro-Caribbean communities across the globe. And tonight is no exception. I've got a lady that I've got a very powerful story to share. Her story is an amazing story. And trust me, you need to really listen and watch this program. If you are watching us for the first time, I want to really let you know that the Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, we are here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 8 p.m. GMT. And trust me, always we bring you stories that really change the lives of people. And tonight is no exception. Before I go on to my guest, I want to really talk about our sponsors. This program is sponsored by Train to Inspire Consultancy. That is your business training and consulting firm. Train to Inspire also works with schools, colleges, and universities in relation to their personal development. Also, ZPay Ghana Limited, your remittance and mobile money company based in Ghana. ZPay just launched their USSD code for mobile money, and that is *270#. Just dial it on your phone and register for ZPay mobile money. Now, if you want to really talk to any of our sponsors, their contact details are scrolling on the screen. Take them and contact them. Also, if you want to sponsor any of our programs, you are more than happy to do so. Just take the numbers for T2I TV UK or Train to Inspire Consultancy and contact us. Also, if you want to support what we are doing in terms of any resource, because we want to take this to the corners of the world where we want to inspire, we want to see the Africa that we want. And for us to really see that, it starts from having dialogues and discussions that are designed to really shape the mindset of our people. And tonight is no exception. Tonight, we are here to shape your mind because this story is an amazing story that is going to really change your mentality. Now, who do I have on the hot seat? I have known this lady for several years. Our first encounter was an awards night, and that was way back. And trust me, she really shared a story that really touched my heart. And since then, we've been connecting. She's been impacting lives across the globe. She is doing what I'm doing, but tonight it's unfortunate that she is a guest. So she is going to feel the pain of really putting questions across to people, causing them to think on their feet. So tonight she is in a different angle. She is not going to be the host, she is rather the guest. And who is this person that I'm talking about? Lady Waynett is somebody that is doing a lot in the African and Caribbean communities across the globe, and she is really doing exceptionally well when it comes to changing the narrative on the continent. Now, before I go, let me just before I go, I just want to really say that Lady Waynett is a life coach, she's a speaker, and she's an entrepreneur. She is in the person of Chief Lady Waynett Peters. Please welcome to Step Out with Oscar Bimpo, and you are live on T2I TV UK.
Thank you for having me on the show today. And I'm sure it's not going to be painful. It's going to be an excellent opportunity because I've been following your show and I'm a fan of yours. So I'm sure that the show will be absolutely fantastic.
Exactly. And I'm also say that I'm also a fan of yours because look, if we don't have, I always say that the solution is not one fit, it's a jigsaw, right? So if you do your bit, I do my bit, everyone does our bit, then we can have a very a world that is less of problems, a world that is full of happiness. But it looks like some people are not doing their bit, so making the so not fix very well. But that is what we are here to do, to fix it one person at a time. And we always need to start from somewhere. Now, let's go straight to business. Now, your topic for discussion is my life story, which symbolizes the power of the mind. Now, before we go on, I ask each and every of my guests this question: who is Waynett Peters in your own ways?
I am a sister, a mother, an auntie, but most importantly, in the community, I am a mentor and I'm a coach. I'm an entrepreneur with several businesses. My passion, however, is in giving back. My passion is in working with those that are going through adversity, those that need for us that have had the experience and have been blessed to be through different experiences to send the ladder back down and to carry them up with us into where we are at.
Wow, 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 wow. I like one bit that you say, that is to give back. But I think a lot of people don't give back when they get to a certain level, isn't it? Do you have to be very, very successful before you give up? You give back to the community?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's always says that charity begins at home. So charity has to begin at a small stage. You have to be used to doing it. It has to become part of your DNA. It has to become something that you're accustomed to. So now giving back starts from when you don't have anything.
Wow. Wow, that's from a different angle. But I think people always think that giving up starts from when you have everything, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. People think that you have to have everything, but you don't. You have to learn the practice and the ethos and have the morals and the values to give when you don't have. Because when you have, you then become stingy and you want to hold on to everything. because you're not used to sharing. But when you're used to sharing from when you don't have any, when you do have something, and then you can now share even more and in a much more uniformed way as well.
Wow. Now tell me about growing up.
Can I tell you about what? Sorry, say that again.
Tell me about growing up.
Growing up,
Yes.
grow, growing up, my father, I'm a daughter of a father who's a diplomat, my mother in medicine, um, amazing family. And I had a very, very good childhood. Had loads of fun, um, spoilt, but also trained in a really good way. Spoilt on one hand, but on the other hand, I had the privilege of being able to have a good training. I'm the last child in my family, so I had the training of my siblings and the training from my parents. So that's the part of the foundation of who I become today.
So it means that you didn't started from a struggled background, isn't it?
I didn't start from a struggle background, no.
Wow, 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 wow. But what really drives you?
What drives me is my passion to help others. What drives me are my children. What drives me is living purposely.
Because to single out purpose, right? A lot of people don't even really know their purpose, not to talk about using it as something that drives them. Do you think it is one of the reasons that has really made this world a complicated place?
Yes, because we all, I think it's to the understanding that we all have a purpose to fulfill. Now, when we're saying we all have a purpose to fulfill, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're all pastors and we should all be doctors and we should all be lawyers, but we should all just find something within our own lane. It could have even be as simple as that we have just got the purpose of making others feel better. So we might just be reaching out to the people on the same street that we live on. We might just be volunteering at the local church. We might be volunteering at the old people's home. We might be volunteering at a youth center. So our purpose is found in different ways. But as long as we are using our time usefully, giving back, sharing, and I think those are the most important things that each and everyone can find to do.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm just beginning to warm up and I'm just thinking we're going to have a very good discussion. But your story is an amazing story, right? But before I go into story, when did it happen to you that you can really enter into entrepreneurship? Is it part of the family or is something that you found it along the way?
My father had an entrepreneurial side to him. He was an entrepreneur in his own right. Both my parents were humanitarians and they loved giving back. My entrepreneurial started at school. I come from a family where where a profession as in doctors and consultants is what is the norm. But for myself from school, I used to sell sandwiches and to other to other children or do their homework and charge them to do their homework. So my entrepreneurship started from just in childhood when I realized that I loved people. I had a passion for people and I just wanted to make use of it. And I realized I could make money. My mom used to make cold meat for our sandwiches, and I used to take some of that cold meat and make sandwiches and go and sell at school. So that's where really it began. I then nurtured it to as a young woman into starting off and doing little businesses. So by the time I was 21, I had a few businesses that I'd already started and I was on my way onto my entrepreneurial journey.
Wow, so you started that early.
That's correct, yes.
But you see, a lot of young people now, they are not able to figure out what they really want to do. And most of them, their mindset is that I want to finish school before I figure it out.
Mhm.
Sometimes, isn't it too late?
It can be too late.
Mm,
Um, I completely understand that things are a lot different these days. That you do find that the young people, when they're studying, they don't necessarily study with the aim of, I would like to become a doctor or become a lawyer.
mm,
They ride the wave, and when it comes to a certain stage, they then decide on their career path. But
mm,
I think even at that young age, to find things that you're passionate about, to
mm,
find those things that you care about, the things that make you tick, the things that you
mm,
share with your friends, and the things that inspire you. And I think that's the most
mm,
important thing to do, to start finding what really drives you as a person, even at a
mm,
young age, something that you're so passionate about. If you're passionate about fixing bikes, and then explore that, because that's your passion. If it's your passion is being a hairdresser and you're doing hairdressing to your friends, it's about the hobbies. I think hobbies turn into, in the entrepreneurial world,
mm.
hobbies are the ones that turn into something greater because you enjoy doing them.
That, because there is one thing I always tell people is, nobody ever fails in their hobby, isn't it? I haven't seen anyone like that. I like playing football, and today they scored me 10-0, and because of that, I'm not going to play football again. I haven't heard that before. The next day, they go back and they play, right? I have not seen
Absolutely.
anybody that loves hockey and they score them today and they say, because of that, I'm not playing hockey anymore. The next
That's
day, they
right.
go back and play. So I always tell people that whatever you do that you give up, it means that that is not your purpose. Because when your purpose becomes something that is no more of a job, but something that is a hobby, and
Mhm.
nobody fails in their hobby. That is why between me and you now, for 10 years now, we are still doing what we are doing over a decade now, but we don't even feel like it's a job. Some people ask you, how do you do it? But it's like, I can't stop. If I stop, it's like half of my body is dead. And I think these are some of the things that people should understand, that look, identifying your purpose is very critical to even your happiness in life, because it gives you a sense of fulfillment that nothing else can ever give. Now, let's go to your story, from riches to rags to grace.
Mhm.
That is an amazing. I don't know whether if you have written a book on that.
I haven't yet. I'm
Oh, what are
still.
you doing? What are you doing? Because I heard the story about 10 years ago. So this story should now be in a book. And I think you have got a very good title here, a very good title,
Mhm.
from riches to rags to grace. That is the title of the book.
Absolutely.
You already have a
Absolutely.
title.
I know I've
You know?
had that so many times when others say, "Hold on a second, where's the book?" And as it's coming, it's coming, it's on its way, it's on its way. The book is definitely going to be coming out. I can assure you, definitely is. Yes, I do have a story which I say, from riches to rags to the
Mm,
grace of God.
mm,
Because as we just highlighted earlier, that I was blessed to have parents and siblings that were amazing in my life from childhood. And as a young lady, I went on to have my own career and become a consultant. But besides being a consultant, I was also an entrepreneur. So I was juggling the consultancy career world to please my parents, because I couldn't have just said I'm an entrepreneur and they'll be happy. They wanted to know that, hey, there's a bit of education here. So I took the education in one hand, embraced it, and then I took my entrepreneurial skills, embraced them, and then together it became me.
mhm.
So I had an empire of businesses that I had, and was doing very well and successfully well, employing a number of people and owning warehouses and so much more, properties and so forth. I then made a wrong investment and I lost everything that I owned. And the reason why I call it from riches to rags to the grace of God is because I then realized that the grace of God is what I had with me and left with me, because the grace of God is what kept me from then and rebuilt me to this day.
So when you say wrong investment,
Mhm.
Probably you don't want to really go there, but is there a way? Probably I want to delve into it because a lot of people make a lot of mistakes, right? And that mistake shatters their life. They cannot start anything again. They just give up. They cannot rise again, right?
Mhm.
Now, the wrong investment that you did, right? How did it come about, and how low did you go?
It came about, I was grieving. I was grieving when my mom had passed away. And, now I celebrate her life. But at that moment in time, I was in grief and I was consumed in grief. Consumed in grief, I took my eye off the ball. I got myself into a state of depression. I got myself into a state of loneliness from missing her so much. A chunk of me, I felt at that moment in time, had gone. And so I wasn't concentrating. She was my power woman. I mean, she was always my friend to encourage me, to talk to, she was my pillar in my eyes, and my mentor and my coach. And losing that, I lost myself temporarily. So yes, I was lost in that. For me, it was carelessness. I was now finding comfort in the wrong people. I was finding comfort in giving away money. I was finding comfort in giving away time. I had lost the value of time, and I had lost the value of money, in trying to find happiness and fulfill the gap in my life. So it derived from that.
Mm.
Um, and as I say, that it's a journey that I now celebrate, because it's a journey that I've now found strength from.
Wow. So when you say you were deriving happiness from other stuff or other areas of life that actually weren't supposed to be, can you specifically tell us where you were fine? Because probably before you weren't doing that, isn't it?
I was giving away money. I was giving away money like there's no tomorrow. I was buying people things like there's no tomorrow. I was spending
Mm.
so much, and that was giving me joy. But that was an uncalculated expenditure. That was
Mm.
literally giving away without any calculation of what I was doing. And so that was the start of it. But then I also started investing in investments that were not grounded, investments that were not good for me, investments that were not properly um, investigated, looked at, and it was just wrong investments. It was just wrong investment of finances.
Mm. Wow. Because some of these things, sometimes you realize that when you get to that stage where you have lost everything,
Mhm,
then if you are not careful, you are not able to pick yourself up.
mhm.
Now, when you were at the bottom of where you have lost everything, how was life like?
Life was sad because I was used to giving, I was used to helping, I was used to being the one that everyone calls upon, and then all of a sudden you can't help anyone. Also, life then was not so happy because I, as a mother, could not give my children the life that I had raised them to become accustomed to. So all those things played a major part.
Wow. Now, it even went to the extent where you became penniless, homeless,
Indeed,
and you were spending time with drug addicts. This is how low you really sank. Tell us about that.
it went to that stage, to where I didn't have any income and I wasn't feeling very well and I was feeling very low. So it went to that stage, yes, that I didn't have, and it was a very terrible stage to be at. It wasn't a good stage at all.
Wow. Wow.
I am
So,
aware that you said you wanted to take a little commercial break. My throat is a little guggly. I was just going to grab a glass of water. Is that okay? We just do a quick commercial break.
all right, then. All right. That's fine. So we go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will going to continue.
I am so excited because the Step Out TV shows are back live on T2I TV. And for those who don't know, Step Out is a series of interviews and motivational segments designed to bring the best out of you and your business. Therefore, we have the following TV programs. Our first TV program, which is our flagship program, dubbed Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, is designed to interview consultants, experts, talented people, and those doing exceptionally well in their communities. The second one is Step Out SME Focus. This is where we interview business owners and showcase their products and services. The third one is Step Out Youth Impact Zone. This is where we interview young people succeeding against all odds to serve as an inspiration to other young people. And the last one is Step Out Authors Corner. And this is where we interview authors to share what their book is about to the world. Join us every week. Like T2I TV on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. To advertise or for further information, do WhatsApp +44 759 1152 983 or +233 55 580 3924 or email info@traintoinspire.com. T2I TV, we engage, educate, enlighten, and empower.
Welcome back. We went for a quick commercial break and we are back with our guest, Waynett Peters, sharing her story from riches to rags and to grace. And we were having a very thought-provoking discussion. About her story. Now, when did it get to the stage where you decided that enough is enough? I want to rise up from this depth that I am in, that is really causing a lot of challenges and struggles in my life. When did you say enough is enough?
I don't think I said enough is enough. I think for me, God said enough is enough. You got to rise up. I more or less think that it was my children. When looking at my children, I always knew that I could not remain in the state that I was in. And I always knew that I had to rise back up again. And I remember always praying and always imagining and thinking that a better time in my life was coming, a better a better me was going to rise up somehow, how I didn't know. But what I did, Oscar, is I spent a lot of time sitting at the canal. And when I used to sit at the canal, I used to sit by the canal talking to the homeless people, talking to the mentally challenged individuals, talking to the substance abusers. And when I used to sit there and talk to them and ask them, how did they get to the position that they were in? How did they get into the position of being homeless or being substance abusers? Or how were they certified as mentally unchallenged? And when I was talking to them and hearing their stories, I realized that there was more to life somehow, and we each had a journey to find ourselves. And we were either stuck at a certain time or we needed to pick ourselves up from there. To be honest with you, those were my angels that I really believe God sent to me to spend their time telling me stories that empowered me in an unusual way, because I didn't even realize that their stories were empowering me. Um, their stories were empowering me enough that they were giving me strength, because in each day I would sit there with them and they would tell me all these different stories, and then they would walk me back. At that time, I was staying with my godfather, and then so they would walk me back to my godfather's, and then I would get back to my godfather's, then they wave me goodbye and they go, and then I would look forward to the next day again. What I did do from that time is I realized I needed to do something else in my life. So I went to volunteer in the church. And when I went to volunteer in the church, and I thought, whilst I'm praying, praising God, and volunteering and using my skills that I had, I hope I can find what is lost, what is in within me. And through that journey, of spending with those individuals that we look down on and that are looked down upon by society and shunned, and spending some time volunteering in church, I found myself. And that is how God rebuilt me. He rebuilt me in helping. He rebuilt me in a humble new beginnings of not having anything. As you said earlier, did I come from nothing? I came from something, but then God brought me to that stage where I could understand others that didn't have at all. Because I was used to giving, but I didn't know the journey that others had walked. So I think that was the beginning of my change of now enough is enough, and this is my time to rebuild with a purpose.
So do you think the first path that you were on, that you lost everything, do you think that wasn't your purpose compared to your
I
new
think I
path
was
you are on?
I think I was in my purpose. However, although I was in my purpose, I think it wasn't with any direction.
Mm,
I still do the same things that I did before, but now I do them with a structure,
mm,
with a purpose and direction. I do it the same things, just with care,
mm,
with more love, with attention, with a direction,
mm,
with with the knowledge that I am living in my purpose,
mm,
and therefore I need to share that time with others, and I need
mm.
to grow in that way, in that direction.
Wow, wow. So what is this new path? Though it's aligned to the old path,
Mhm.
is there anything a bit different, and how is the fulfillment like?
The big difference now is that I can do more.
Mm,
I can reach out to more people. I can be of use to others in a bigger way.
mm,
I am different in that I understand that I am on a journey, and
mm,
that is different. You know, it's a different outlook altogether.
mhm,
It's like when we eat. When we eat, we we sometimes, when we don't know what we're eating, now these days everyone's talking about well-being.
mm,
Before, we just ate and we just enjoyed the food. But
mm,
now, when we eat in these days, we are more advanced in our knowledge of enjoying the flavor and texture of food without having to be eating things that are fatty,
mm,
salty.
mm,
We still do the same thing. We eat, but we
mm,
eat healthier. We enjoy food,
mm,
and
mm,
we enjoy it in a good way. We know not to
mm,
overeat, not to
mm,
overindulge.
mm,
It's
mm,
it's the same thing in just a better way.
mm, mm, mm. Wow, 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 wow. Now, your impact now in the UK, in Africa, Caribbean communities, in the USA, and the world at large. What do you really want to achieve with this?
I would like to achieve to be connected with individuals like yourself,
Mm,
individuals that are making a difference to others, individuals that are to be connected to individuals that would like to help others that are going through adversity, would
mm,
like to lift each other up, encourage each other, support each other. And I think that's what you're doing now. You're supporting me and saying to the world, this is her story
Mm-hmm.
and she wants to make a difference. But at the same time, you're making a difference. And I'm here today to support your program because I realize
Mm-hmm.
you're making a difference. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
more of us are across the globe, if we can make a difference even in just that way, it is really good. Universally and everywhere, my other dream is that collectively we're all able to impact lives in a much bigger way. And being people of color, we often say that because of being of color that so much holds us back. But now, in the days of the internet, in the days of the knowledge that no
Mm-hmm.
one can hold back from us, I think we can do more in supporting each other and growing and realizing that color doesn't hold us back anymore. Gender doesn't hold us back anymore. Where we are does not hold us back anymore. So it's
Mm-hmm.
about educating others that we inside us have so much information and we have so much skill that we have that we can put together and help the next person.
Of course, I always tell people that we can make this platform the CNN of Africa.
Hmm.
We don't need Waynett Peters to wait for the next 10 years to be
Hmm.
interviewed on CNN when we have got our own platform. That
Absolutely.
is a powerful pool, that a go-to platform that everybody wants to watch. We can do our own, but I think we are not supportive of each other. I think that is one of our biggest problems. Even we don't like our own.
Hmm.
We despise it. We rather like anything foreign to the detriment of our own. So for our own to be accepted, it takes time and ages for our own to be accepted. I don't know whether you agree with me, but that is my strong opinion.
It is. It is. We don't. That's why I was saying that is my dream that we support each other more because we don't support each other enough. We're supposed to support each other more than what is being done now because there are a few people. You and I are doing this today. You have other people that you know that are supporting you, and you support. I have people that support me, and I support. But there could be more of us, and if more of us were together, we would make a huge and bigger difference in life. Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. Quite interesting. Are you living your childhood dreams?
I definitely am.
Wow, 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 wow.
I
Wow.
definitely am. And I am grateful, grateful, grateful. Um,
Mm.
when I was young, I used to love singing. My mom used to say, I don't want you to be singing because she thought that could be one of those pop stars just out there just doing all kind of crazy stuff. So she always used to
Mm.
say, I want to see you on TV. If you're going to be doing anything, I'd like you to be reading the news um, or or talking about finance or something else. So yeah, I'm leaving my childhood dream because then I used to imagine myself thinking I could be there reading the news, and now I'm nearer to sitting there reading the news. So
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
happy and I'm grateful.
Wow, 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 wow. With all these things that you are doing, because I know you run a lot of businesses and all that, um, has role models really play an important role in all that you've been able to achieve?
Absolutely. If you have no one to look up to, then you have nothing to aspire to. If you There's no one that knows everything. You
Mhm,
need to have a coach. A coach needs a coach. That's what
mm,
I'm always saying. You need someone that you look up to. You need people that are your direct coaches that you speak to, that mentor you and coach you. But you also need role models in all different walks of life
mm,
that assist you in different ways. So I look up to people that aspire me and inspire me in being a mother, in being a friend, in being a sister, in being an entrepreneur. As in every single area of my life, there is someone that inspires me in different ways. And I think that's the most important thing for us to learn is that we will never stop learning and we will never stop growing from the information and from the knowledge that we get from others.
Wow, wow. Because the reason why I ask you is that mentorship in African and Caribbean communities,
Mhm.
do you think we are doing enough? Because when you look at knife crime, right? Sometimes I don't mince words because I don't see Asians stabbing themselves. I don't see white people stabbing themselves. It is we black people. Now, are we really mentoring the young people enough? Are we doing our best? Those of us who have got a little bit of experience that can really extend a helping hand to our young people. Are we doing enough?
We are doing what we can, but we could do more.
Mm,
We are doing what we can, but we could do more. Um, I've run a group called Rock, Reclaiming Our Children Back from the Streets. And from the Reclaiming Our Children Back from the Streets, we used to invite fathers, uncles, our male um, role models in the community, and ordinary male folks to come and assist the youth. So we used to practically come out and comb the streets and talk to our young black boys out there and assist them in those different ways. So that's one way of doing it. I have known of other organizations that I have gone to support or supported me that were equally doing the same thing, working towards that. We also ran a campaign where a few of us business owners were employing some of the young fellas on the streets. And we also had giving them apprenticeships for them to be able to get themselves away from the street life, or mentoring them and coaching them, and also doing anger management workshops and conflict resolution workshops. So there's one way of doing things. And so one person can't do everything, as you know. So we've done something and others are doing something, but more could be done, I think, is the main thing, that we can do more.
yeah. All right. Yes, we can do more, but I think that the rate, the way things are really happening, I believe that though we are doing it, but our more is actually not enough. Because nowadays it's very scary. Like if your child closes from school and the child is supposed to get at home at 3 o'clock and 3:30 the child is not at home, you see parents panicking. Why? Because there is the likelihood of a bad news.
Mhm,
And I always ask myself, how can we live? This is the typical this is a typical prison.
mhm,
We are living in our homes, but we are in prison. Why? Because we don't have the peace when even our children leaves our doors to either
mhm,
go to school or go to the shop. They never come back. I was just watching ITV, was it yesterday? And a young black boy that says, "Mom, I'm going to cycle around the area and come back." And the next call the mom had was, "Your child has been stabbed to death." This is the kind of stories that black people, these are the news that we hear. We don't hear that our children went to Oxford. No, we hear that every time our child is being stabbed. And I think it's something that we really, really need to work on. And this is why some of these platforms are here to educate whether parents or young people that comes across. Because I always say that this interview is going to be on the net for the next 100 years.
mhm.
So the impact is not just only today. Somebody might come across this interview and their whole perception about life will change just because of your story. And that will be maybe the next 50 years. Probably, I don't know, maybe me and you, we are still alive or we are too old, but we will still be impacting lives. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. Now, what plans do you have for the future?
For the future, to keep growing, to
Mm,
becoming a better version of myself in each day, to reaching out to more people,
mm,
to collaborating with others more, and to making that difference, as we are just talking about, um, creating a better tomorrow for our children and their children. And those are the plans for the future, just to become a better version of myself, do better, do more.
well, what is that one thing that whenever you look back, you realize that this one thing that I did that has kept me going all this while.
When I look back and I think, what have I done that has kept me going? My faith.
Mm,
My faith and determination to succeed
mm,
has kept me going.
mm,
Consistency in my faith and consistency in the things that I do and I intend to do. I think looking back, that's what brings me to me now and today. Because if I had not continued um, to grow in consistency, then I wouldn't be here today. My
mm,
faith in my maker has given me the strength to keep going. So when
mm,
I look back, I am glad that I have faith,
mm,
and I am proud that I have the love of my creator. And I really thank my parents for having to have taught me the word consistency, because that's
mm,
one thing that always rings bell to me about
mm,
consistency. So when I look back, I'm glad about the consistency that I've had, because whether the times have been low, the consistency has continued. So that's good.
mm. I always say that consistency is a powerful tool,
Hmm.
and it's one of my assets. And I define consistency as waking up to do what you have to do,
Hmm.
irrespective of what is happening around you.
Yes,
That is in my dictionary of consistency. There is no if and there is no but.
that's right.
Manage your distractions and focus on the goal.
Absolutely.
You see, when you look at our eyes, they were put in front of us for a reason.
Hmm.
That means it was designed for us to always look forward. But many people, because of their past experiences, they have put their eyes at their back.
Hmm.
And because of that, they are always looking backwards instead of forward. And I also give the example of the driving mirror of the car. You don't drive always looking back. You are always driving looking forward because you want to get to your destination. So why
Absolutely.
are we always looking back? And I think consistency, a lot of people don't know. Consistency is one of the powerful tools that can drive you to your destination.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter the tool that you are using. Consistency is if I want to really walk from London to Birmingham, and every day I want to walk 2 miles, I make sure I walk that 2 miles.
Hmm.
And consistently over time, I will get to Birmingham. And this is what actually, from what you are saying, has really kept you. But a lot of people don't really, they don't understand the power of consistency. And that is why they give up so soon. I've got some comments here, and let me read a few of them. I've got Smart Foods product says, great work, Oscar. And I've got a few comments from Norma Ellis. She says, Waynett Peters, sorry I joined late. And she says, it's sad but true. She also says, you bring the good new to inspire and uplift lives. Such a challenging time. And she also says it takes a village to raise a child, and we have to support their parents too. And it all starts from infant when they start the journey. And is she also said is that commitment that keeps us going even when we fail. So commitment is a very powerful tool, and trust me, I've really enjoyed every bit of this discussion, and trust me, you've got a whole journey ahead of you. I think there is more to come than what you have really experienced.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Wow.
And as we're talking about individuals that are also making a difference, just like uh, Norma Ellis, a
Mm,
podcaster Norma
mm,
Ellis, I call her, and she's
mm,
doing amazing with her podcast, and she's very supportive of others. And Those are the individuals in life that
mm,
we really need, individuals that do
mm,
support others in
mm.
every single different way.
Wow, Norma Ellis, a podcaster, then probably you can speak to Waynett Peters and probably come on my show so that we discuss some of the things that you do and the impact that you are making. Because these are the people that we interview for them to really share their story to inspire our generation. And before I go, I just want to mention our sponsors. This program is sponsored by Train to Inspire Consultancy. That is your business training and consulting firm. They also work with students in relation to their personal development in second cycle institutions, colleges, and universities. Also, ZPay Ghana Limited, your remittance and mobile money company based in Ghana, they just launched their USSD code for mobile money, and that is star 270 hash. Just dial it on your phone and register for ZPay mobile money. If you want to contact any of our sponsors, their contact details are scrolling on the screen. Take them and contact them. And also, if you want to sponsor any of our shows, take the number for Train to Inspire or TTY TV UK, and we are going to work with you. Also, if you want to support what we are doing, just contact us and let's talk, because we want to take this to the world. We want to impact the young people across the globe, especially on the continent of Africa and in the diaspora. Lady Waynett Peters' story, I know, is going to inspire a lot of people for years to come. Now, it's been wonderful having you on the show, and I will say thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. And thank you very much for having me on your show. Thank you. It's been a delight. Thank you very much.
Your last word to anyone that is watching us.
My last words to everyone watching for this time, for today, would be never give up. There's always a tomorrow, and a tomorrow will always be better. Live your tomorrow in a much more beautiful way than you lived your today. Be strong and know that you are there for a purpose. Find your purpose and live your purpose. Live within your purpose. The most important thing is for all of us to know that we are here and we are a spirit. We possess a soul and we live in a body. Therefore, we are here for a purpose and we should find our purpose. Let's not live purposely. Find your purpose in life.
Find your purpose in life, and if today is not good, tomorrow can be better. And I always say that tomorrow can be better if only you are doing something today. There is no future tomorrow if you are idle today. So if you want to see anything different tomorrow, you do something today. My question that I'm going to leave with you is, what purpose are you pursuing today? If you are pursuing one, then there is a future tomorrow. If you are not pursuing one today, then trust me, there is no future. It's about what you do today that is going to warrant a different tomorrow. Do something today. Put your craft to work. Put your talent to work. Go ahead and pursue that vision. Start from somewhere. There is always a seed in your hands, and you don't need anything to produce a tree than a seed. So that biggest tree that you see, it came out from that small seed, meaning that all of us can afford a seed. A seed is the most inexpensive thing that all of us can afford, meaning that the scarce resources at your disposal, start with it, because the power of multiplication is in the seed. So when you start with your scarce resources, there is power of multiplication in it, because your scarce resources is your seed. Start somewhere and build. There is one thing I always say, that there is no builder that put 2 blocks at a time. They put 1 block at a time. That mansion that you see today that you admire so much, that builder started with 1 block, and over time they had that 1 mansion. Start from somewhere, and one day you are going to see the mansion of your purpose in one day. With what? With consistency. That is, you don't put 1 block today and you go on holiday for 2 weeks. You put 1 block today and you continue the next day until you get that one done. God richly bless anyone that really watched the show. This is what we do every single week, every Tuesday, every Thursday, and on Saturday, 8 p.m. GMT. And please, if you're watching us, share this for somebody to have an opportunity to watch this program. On Saturday, I've got a very top banker from Ghana based in the United States. And he's going to talk to us about how we can make the best out of our banking system. Now, we are living in a world where people think that banks cannot really make a better life for you. But he is on a different opinion. How can we really get the best out of our banking system? And it's going to be an amazing discussion. Don't change the dial on us. Saturday, 8 p.m. GMT, we are going to be here. And God richly bless everyone that really spend their time with us. And God bless Waynett Peters and more grace for the years ahead. Thank you very much. And God richly bless you too.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys on Saturday and stay blessed.